Good afternoon. Welcome back to AP Biology Semester 2. Today we are in section 6.2, the eukaryotic cells. We're talking about eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells today. Okay, we know that eukaryotic cells have internal membranes that compartmentalize their functions. All right, we're going to compare the two different cells on today. So all cells have several basic features in common. They are all bounded by a selective barrier called the plasma membrane. Enclosed by the membrane is a semi-fluid, jelly-like substance called cytosol, in which organelles and other components are found. All cells contain chromosomes, which carry genes in the form of DNA. And all cells have ribosomes, tiny complexes that make proteins according to instructions from the genes. A major difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells is the location of their DNA, as reflected in their names. In a eukaryotic cell, most of the DNA is in an organelle called the nucleus, which is bounded by a double membrane. The word eukaryotic is from the Greek eu, which means true, and karyon, which means kernel, here referring to the nucleus. In a prokaryotic cell, from the Greek word pro, before, and karyon. The DNA is concentrated in a region that is not membrane enclosed, called the nucleoid. The interior of a prokaryotic cell is called the cytoplasm. This term is also used for the region between the nucleus and the plasma membrane of a eukaryotic cell. Within the cytoplasm of a eukaryotic cell, suspended in cytosol, are a variety of organelles of specialized form and function. These membrane-bounded structures are absent in prokaryotic cells. Metabolic requirements also impose theoretical upper limits on the size that is practical for a single cell. At the boundary of every cell, the plasma membrane functions as a selective barrier that allows sufficient passage of oxygen, nutrients, and waste to service the entire cell. For each square micrometer of membrane, only a limited amount of a particular substance can cross per second. So the ratio of surface area to volume is critical. As a cell or any other object increases in size, its volume grows proportionately more than its surface area. Thus, a smaller object has a greater ratio of surface area to volume. The need for a surface area sufficiently large to accommodate the volume helps explain the microscopic size of most cells and the narrow, elongated shapes of others, such as nerve cells. Larger organisms do not generally have larger cells than smaller organisms, simply more cells. Okay, let's take a panoramic view of the eukaryotic cell. All right, because membranes are fundamental to the organization of the cell, Chapter 7 will discuss them in detail. In general, biological membranes consist of a double layer of phospholipids and other lipids. Embedded in this lipid bilayer or attached to its surfaces are diverse proteins. However, each type of membrane has a unique composition of lipids and proteins suited to that membrane's specific functions. For example, enzymes embedded in the membranes of the organelles called mitochondria function in cellular respiration. Okay, we're going to stop here for today, and then the next time we meet, we will talk about the eukaryotic cells' genetic instructions, how they are housed in the nucleus and carried out by the ribosomes. Until next time, ta-ta!